Truth Podcast. Tag truth, speaking truth. Yeah, we'll never back down. Hashtag truth, shine light on the underground. Hashtag truth, uncovering what they don't want known. Hashtag truth, uncovering what they don't want known. Hashtag truth podcast, we're never alone.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hashtag Truth, episode 514. Today we have the one, the only, right over there, Mr. Blade Gibson. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right, man. How about you?
I am doing great. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right into the first segment of the show.
Hashtag Truth Podcast. Tag truth, speaking truth. Yeah, we'll never back down. Hashtag truth, shine light on the underground. Hashtag truth, uncovering what they don't want known. Hashtag truth.
All right. Yeah, I love the music too, man.
I'm just sitting here bopping to it.
Right? Just bop. There you go. All right, man. First question I ask all the wrestlers that come on my show, man. How long have you been in the business and who started training you?
So, from the professional aspect of like when I've actually been in the ring, I started April 3rd, 2021. So just like as we're getting out of the pandemic.
Okay.
And as I went through, so at the time being, the only people that trained me were my cousins from APW, which is All Pro Wrestling. It's a company run by Mikey Duggar. I almost said Michael, I meant Mikey Duggar, and my mom. But I eventually was able to start getting trained by Ricky Morton at the School of Morton down in Truckee, Tennessee, until they now moved to Newport, Tennessee.
There you go. Well, I do want to say something about SOM right now. I want to give a big shout out to SOM because we do a few segments on the show. One of them is Let's Watch You Promo, and the other one's Let's Watch You Wrestle. And you are a part of SOM, and both segments are all SOM stuff. So, guys, go check out SOM. Like he said, one of the owners there is the one and only Ricky Morton. So you want to go check that out. They have I believe is it a weekly running show or monthly, or how do they do it?
So the way we do our shows is that every 2 weeks we have our shows, but every Sunday 5:05 on YouTube is when the show goes live. So it's typically taping. So if you want to be ahead of the program, you got to show up to the show. But if you're fine with staying at home, you just got to tune in on Ricky Morton on YouTube and 5:05 every Sunday. You'll be catching Revolution and Uprising. Uprising's the one I'm more on. That's more of my brand. That's what I was drafted to.
Mary came on. She said, hi, Scott and Blade. How you doing, Mary?
I'm Mary.
Jenny Booth said, sorry, Mr. Larson, work has been crazy. Hey, Mr. Gibson, huge fan.
I appreciate that.
That is cool. So you've been in the business for about 3 years. You've been, wrestling for about 3 years, man. Explain to me how it felt the first time you walked through the curtains, man. And who'd you wrestle and how nervous was you?
So we got the news that Wasp was starting to come back, that it was starting to be run back up. And I was really wanting to get my foot in the ring. I was wanting to start my career. And just for some backstory for some people that don't know about this, back in 2018, so my dad and mom were both wrestlers. My dad passed away in 2018.
Okay.
And when he did, I told him two things. One, that I would become a wrestler in any company I stepped foot into. They would see my worth to where I'd be able to become a champion. And that two, that I would eventually be able to make it, whether that's New Japan, AEW, WWE, any promotion like that. As long as that's one of the big leagues, or what we people would consider the big leagues, then I consider that making it. But my main goal is WWE.
Any place you go wrestle, you got a contract. That's the big leagues, man.
Yeah, that's the
It could be TNA, it could be New Japan, all of them, man. If you get a contract, you're in there, brother. That's the big thing. And we got a lot of people showing up, man. This is awesome. Luke Childers of the Bottom Line is on here saying hello, gentlemen.
What's going on, Luke? Long time no talk.
Missy, my right hand woman over here who asked all the great questions. She said, "Hello, Scott. Hello, Blade. Good to see you on here."
I'm glad to see everybody's happy to see me.
Yeah.
But going into my first match, it was against my oldest brother, and he sat there and talked about it, and I eventually was able to convince him to be my first match. So once we finally got the ring set up and everything, I got in my gear. So that's the first time I'm actually wearing my gear, the first time I'm wearing my boots. And I can just feel my heart racing because this is the first show everybody in my hometown, by the way, is being able to come out and enjoy since the pandemic. After being locked up in your house for almost
2 years.
Year and a half.
Yeah, almost 2 years. Yeah.
They finally get to come out. I'm very sorry about that for anyone that's watching. But
he's got a light back there that wants to. I think his dad's saying hi. That's what I think it is. But you know,
if you guys want to say hi to him, he's here too.
There you go.
But I just remember that I had my music picked out. Me and my brother went over the match, and we didn't have anything, extremely crazy because I'm obviously very what the term
green.
usually is.
You're green.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was very green, and we just had a very simple match. So once my music hit, all that butterfly and scared feeling turned into pure adrenaline. Once I felt the music, I immediately felt the rush to be in that ring. And
that's what mostly all wrestlers say. Even ones in WWE say, they still get butterflies before the match when they get out there and they hear that crowd reaction, and then they start to do. Once they get into the match, once they're in the ring, all that goes away. It's just concentrating on your match at that point.
That is exactly every single time. And you'll hear veterans everywhere sit there and tell you, if you lose that feeling to where you're no longer getting butterflies or something, that's when you would need to leave the ring.
Without a doubt. Big Bad Brad saying, yeah, shouting out the hashtag Truth and Blade Gibson. All right, Brad.
Appreciate the shout out.
Mary said, Blade, you are my grandson's hero. With that being said, who is your hero?
That's a very deep question. So, if you're going to go off of life, most people are going to give you that answer. It would have to be my dad. But if you're going to say, somebody possibly in wrestling, I'd have to say, even though he did a lot of villain things, I'd have to say more of the lines of Triple H, and I'd have to say Triple H would be that, because when I was growing up, I was always used on Triple H. Granted, I had my moments of being big on John Cena, but I can distinctly remember when Triple H and Undertaker fought that first time out of the.
And that entrance that Triple H has and the music and everything, man. I mean, that's one guy that I'll never forget. Growing up watching myself, man, was Triple H, man. When Time to Play the Game hit that entrance, hit that speaker, you knew it was going to be a good time. You know what I'm saying?
Just chills every time, especially when they were in DX. Especially when they were in DX, it was
right. DX was crazy. DX was fun times. Jared said, "What's up, Scott Larson? How you doing, Jared? I am here with Blade Gibson. We're talking with Blade. Terry and Koresh, hashtag Truth with Scott and Blade. There you go." Dylan said, "Ladies and gentlemen, Blade Gibson is in the house." Yes, he is. Jenny Booth has a question. She said, "What has been your favorite memory so far?"
There's a lot of them, but narrow them down. Obviously, I think a lot of people are going to, if you've followed with me, you're probably going to assume this one. But it's definitely having to be being able to verse EC3 for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Because
we're just going to give it away. We're going to watch that match pretty soon later on in the show, guys. So stick around and watch Blade Gibson try to take the NWA title from EC3. It was a good match. I watched it. So
that was the match that was actually a part of match of the year for SOM. That was the one I almost won, but Tank's the one that actually won that. Congratulations to Tank.
There you go. Alexander Polk saying, what's up? Josh Anderson said, what are you going to do about Brandon Moore and you getting your hybrid title back?
That's a great question because as of right now, I don't know if you've seen the reasoning behind why I don't have my hybrid title with me on for this podcast, but the December 22nd show of SOM, Brandon decided to take the easy way out and pay the referee to screw me out of my title.
Oh.
I didn't tap, I didn't give up, and I didn't get pinned. I literally got screwed out of my title. The bell got rang, and he was handed the championship. Didn't earn it, handed.
Oh, so are you looking for a rematch? Do you have a rematch clause?
From what I've been told, I do, but if they think I'm going to wait until Bunkhouse, like some of these posts have suggested, they've got another thing coming. I ain't waiting until Bunkhouse. The moment I can get my rematch, I'm cashing in my rematch. There is no waiting for that.
I got you. I love that spirit, man.
You ain't gonna
keep that spirit, boy. Keep that spirit. I love it. Philip said, what's up, Blade Gibson?
What's going on, Philip? Just sitting here with my boy Scott talking about wrestling.
Brandon Moore said, Josh Anderson, he ain't doing nothing. Oh, we.
And it's funny he says that because guarantee you next taping he'll realize I am going to in fact do something. He can sit here and say that I'm not going to do something, but I promise you I will.
Stacy Beaver said, hey, Blade.
Hi, Stacy.
She said, let's go, Blade Gibson.
That's the exact.
What's up, Blade Gibson? I like the one with Brandon Moore. Okay, so she likes the match. She liked the match, but did you like the way it ended? I mean, if Blade got screwed out of his title, that's not a good way to end a match. Oh, okay. She said she's talking to Brandon now. She said he will get that title back. Okay. Leilani, is that how you pronounce that? Leilani? If I butchered your name, ma'am, I apologize. Diamond said he cheated, loser. Talking about Mr. Moore. Missy Childers, Blade, if you're in room of 100 and a fight breaks out, what 4 independent wrestlers do you want on your side? Ooh.
Hunter Wolf for one. Hunter Wolf's a very big man. That's somebody I would want on my side. I would want Hunter Wolf. TKO. He's definitely somebody I would want on my side. Tyler Shute, because the man trains harder, so that means he obviously fights harder.
Okay.
And then if I had to call a good old friend, I'd probably say RT3.
Okay. There you go. Wow. I like that.
Yeah, that's four. Yeah, that's four right there. But just to kind of revert back to what you were asking, the feeling when I actually went out there, because the crowd was enormously packed. I mean, we were almost at the point to where we were at standing room only.
Oh, wow.
It was a adrenaline rush. I mean, I don't think I can't vividly remember my entrance, but I can remember the match.
Right.
But when I came out there, I cannot for the life of me remember how me walking out there went. I just only remember me being in the ring.
That's pretty cool. Now you went through a lot of good storylines out there at WASP. I mean, you went up against your brother for a while. He had a factional over there, and you went against him for a while. And then things happened. That faction kind of broke up, and now you're tagging with them, I believe, correct?
Me and Chance are actually now the WASP Tag Team Champions.
There you go. So it all comes around when it comes to family, right?
Always.
So tell me about your brother Chance, man. How did he get hooked up in wrestling? Did he come in at the same time you did? Who came in first? Tell me about that.
Chance came in way before way before I did. So
Okay.
back when we were living in Florida, between the time span of the very end of 2014 to the pandemic really taking effect, so like the summer of 2020.
Right.
Well, during that time, I'd say between the 2016 to between the 2015 2016 range, we started going to off of the Wild Samoans training school, and my brother was always paying attention. Like no matter what, he was never taking his eyes off the training. The words that Offa was always spilling. So Chance was actually being able to given a scholarship to be trained by Offa.
Oh,
So
wow.
he was trained by Offa the Wild Samoan for a good few years before my dad passing and stuff like that.
Right,
That's
right. Wow.
But
That's pretty cool.
now, if you're going to say about the like getting in professionally, he basically started 2 months after I started.
Okay.
So I already had 2 matches, and my third match was with him, but he was under a mask.
Right, right. And man, I'm telling you, you guys got to go back. I had an episode of Hashtag Truth where I interviewed his brother and the whole crew that he was with at Wasp. What was the name of their faction?
The Mad Faction.
The Mad Faction. There you go. He put on this face paint and all this, and he looked like, you know, like the Joker, but it was black, and it was a good character, man. It was a good thing, man. You guys had a whole big thing going on with Chris Thunder Anderson, who came in. Chris Thunder Anderson came in and went up against your brother and kind of, you know, helped tear that faction apart. It was a really good storyline out there, man. What is the best? Who is your number one opponent right now? Who is that guy that when you get in the ring, you know it's going to be a great match? You and him.
Now that there's only so there's a good few group of people, but there's two people that immediately came to mind when you said that. So if I really had to pick between one or the other, I would probably go with James Anthony.
Okay.
James Anthony is the man that I feel like really helped me understand that I actually do have a purpose in this business, that I do have what it takes to be a professional wrestler. Now, if you wanted to ask me like who's the second, I would say Evan Golden, because me and him, every time we get in the ring, it is just automatic chemistry. Now, granted, all of a sudden, you know, at SOM, he's a good guy now, however that works. But still, I'll give him his respect since he wants to be on the good side for now, until he disrespects me. But if I really had to say one person, I'd definitely have to say James Anthony. And I already made like a top 10 list of people I want to verse in 2025. And then I made like a extra 5 for people I want to run it back with. And James Anthony is definitely one of those people I would love to run it back with any time of the week. Oh
man, I like that. You're already looking ahead. I like wrestlers like that, where they're like, yeah, I want to wrestle these 10 guys, but I'll run these 5 back. That tells me as a fan that you're ready to go, man. 2025 is going to be a good year for Blade Gibson, man. Jenny said, I'm sorry, I just popped in to say hi. Y'all have a great night, Mr. Blade. I will see you in March.
So yeah, it's for I believe Wasp.
Yes, Wasp is returning in March. Yep. Dylan Childers said Brandon Moore spelled ain't wrong. Okay. Stacy said Blade Gibson is my buddy.
I'm a lot of people's buddies in the crowd.
Josh Turner said, fun fact, Blade was one of the elves in the Netflix Christmas movie.
That was a good one. I've never heard that one. That was a good one, Josh.
Stacy said she didn't like Mr. Moore cheating.
I don't think nobody liked him cheating.
Dwayne Holiday coming to us from YouTube. Thank you for checking us out on YouTube, Dwayne. Blade Gibson, the face of SOM, Wasp, and Rated R Wrestling.
And he does all 3 of the promotions.
There he goes. Stacy wants to know if she can come on and talk with us. Stacy, I don't usually let fans come on the show to talk. This is all about the wrestler, but every once in a while I have a fan appreciation show, and maybe we can hook something like that up with you and Blade being on at the same time or something. So, yeah, normally I don't let because if I let you on, ma'am, I'm going to have to let everybody on. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just going to be recycling people all through the show. So, I hate to say no, but I have to. I'm sorry.
That's understandable.
The bottom line said, where did the name of Face of Perfection come from?
That's one I've not been asked before. Not a lot of people asked where the name came from. So when my dad was still around, I ran that by him. I asked him about the hey, if I started wrestling, I started going by the Face Perfection, would that work? And the way I originally was going to start running it was kind of like how Triple H did Hunter Hart Helmsley when he first started. You know, the whole bowing and thinking that he was perfect and stuff. But as I've moved on through my career, the Face of Perfection has now turned more into, I'm not saying I'm the most perfect wrestler out here. I'm not saying that but when it comes to a wrestler that has ambition, a wrestler that wants to constantly be getting better, constantly evolving, constantly improving, constantly trying to show everybody that it doesn't matter the size that you're seeing out here. What matters is that when I get in that ring, I'm going to make you believe in me, and I'm going to make you want to come back to see me again. I'm going to make you see the fight that I have to stay in this business and to prove my worth. Oh,
we're going to show your promo here in a few minutes. They're going to see the fight in you. I promise you that. Dylan said, Chance Gibson Jr., your brother, is Sting in reverse. Okay. Mary wants to know, what was your hardest match?
Dear Lord. So I want to try excluding the EC3 match for a minute, because there's definitely been a lot of hard fought matches. But if I really had to go off, I think one of the hardest would probably be the ladder match I had for my dad's boots against my brother. Not just because of like the build up and the climax of that match, but the fact of, if you go back and watch that, or if you see pictures, I'm literally bleeding all over the place. I think that's the only match I've ever been in, literally in the 3 years, coming up on 4 years so far, to where I bled that much. And the very beginning of the match, while I'm sitting there hitting my brother, I dislocated my shoulder and somehow popped it right back into place. And this was like at the very first 2 minutes of the match, and I still was able to continue through and power through that.
So I think you answered Missy's question too. Who has been your hardest match in WASP? I think you just said your brother's match. So you answered two questions with one answer. Awesome. DP Holiday, the commissioner, said Blade Gibson, the face of SOM, WASP, and Rated R Wrestling. Boy, I'm telling you.
Said that.
Yeah. The bottom line wants to know, would you and Chance put your tag titles up against the Country Gentlemen?
I wouldn't. If the Country Gentlemen wanted to come into WASP and try challenging for him, I sure wouldn't back down. I put KC Kazana as one of the top 10 people. Now, granted, I said as a one-on-one, but a tag match, I'll take a tag match. I'll take versus AJ too. I mean,
so you're saying you're going to be a fighting tag? You're going to be fighting champions, is what you're saying?
Yes, of course. And anyone wants to step up.
I love that. Josh Anderson said, no, it's Rated R, March 8th.
Rated R and WASP both start back up in March. I can't think off the top of my head which one starts first.
Lee's just playing with me. He said, I want on. Lee's a good guy. I love Lee. We call him Naked Gator, so that'll tell you. Bobby Lee. Oh, yes. Go check out Cowboy Bob with his new podcast. Wow, I'm telling you.
That bugged me.
WrestleCast podcast. My mind just went totally blank when I saw Cowboy Bob. He's doing such a great job over there, guys. You guys got to go check him out. He's going to have Dump Truck on pretty soon. It's this Tuesday. So go check it out. It's going to be a great show without a doubt. Tommy Scott said, "What's up, hashtag and Blade? What was your favorite title defense from your School of Morton title?"
So I've had the hybrid title twice. So I'll go off of. I'll try going off of both of those. For my first title defense, I would definitely want to say me versus Nathan Cross. That was probably my favorite title defense in the first one. Now, as for the second one, you gotta juggle that around for a bit because I had that one that was a 6-month title reign.
Right.
Quite literally 6-month title reign because I won it June 21st and lost it December 22nd. So if I had to go off the second one, then I'll give it to it's either me versus Commodore Legion, or I'd say it's the triple threat match I had with Brandon Moore and Luke Fury.
Okay.
Both of those matches were honestly some of my favorites defending the hybrid title. Granted, the Luke Fury match was supposed to be a 1-on-1, and then Brandon somehow paid his way into that match and still lost. So
there you go. Missy's got a really deep question. This is cool. Your job is to talk 10 people in the building. How are you going to do it?
To talk to 10 people in the building?
No, your job is to bring 10 people to your wrestling show. How are you going to do it?
Man, you got to put me on the spot.
You got to tell them that's going to bring them to the show. She's going to put you on the spot, man.
So how am I going to bring them into the show?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go off SOM. Let's say the one that I'm trying to bring people into an SOM building, and they want to. I'm telling them I'm about to cash in my shot for my rematch clause against Brandon Moore because I'm not going to sit there and let a man screw me over. I was wrongly screwed. I couldn't even be pinned properly, not submitted properly. I had to be screwed out of my hybrid title, and I'm ready to get some payback. I'm ready to show somebody you want something. You fight and earn it, not pay for it. If you pay for it, what do you get out of it? Tell me what do you personally get out of it when you don't earn something? It's just handed to you. Do you really feel that satisfaction? Do you really feel like you're giving the people what they paid for? No. I'm going to give you what you paid for. I'm going to be a fighting champion, and more or less, I'm going to actually make. Well, that was embarrassing. Sorry about that.
You're good.
But
You're good.
more or less, I'm going to make sure that when you come through that door, you're going to get your money's worth. I'm going to put every single thing I have in my match. No shortcuts, no screw jobs. I'm going to fight. I'm going to pin. And I'm going to get a 3 count. And I will make sure. And even if I get pinned, I'll make sure you saw all my worth. I pulled all of the stops out until I literally could not pull out anything else. So come on in, buy your ticket, and be ready to experience an amazing night of pro wrestling.
There you go. I love it. So we're going to go right from there. We're going to give you guys about a 10-second break. I'm going to hit the intro, and then we're going to watch Blade Gibson promo. Now, I am going to tell you this. There is a cuss word in the promo, but other than that, this promo's fire, ladies and gentlemen. You got to check this out. Here we go. Let's watch him promo.
Hashtag Truth Podcast. Hashtag Truth. Speaking truth. Yeah, we'll never back down. Hashtag Truth. Shining light on the underground. Hashtag Truth. Uncovering what they don't want known. Hashtag Truth.
I had this close to beat. I didn't tap out. I didn't give up. The referee sits there and calls for the bell. Once again, the world's still for me. People see my work. I put the work in, and nobody wants to sit there and let me do what I need to do. Do what I meant to do, and that's be a champion. That's be the face of SOM. Ooh, I'm shouldn't have been screwed like that. They shouldn't have done that to me. That's uncalled for.
We'll go home.
Don't go home. I don't want to go home. I don't need to go home. I don't need that. I had that beat. This is the first time the world's gonna screw me over. All right? I don't need to go home. As a matter of fact, how about you go home? You both go home, all right? And get that damn camera out of my face. I understand you want to get the back shots, but I don't need that, all right?
Wait,
You go blow off them.
let's go, Mike. Come on.
I can watch that promo 10 times in a row, man. That is fire. Woo! So tell me, what happened that made you go off like that? Is that when you got screwed over?
That's when I got screwed.
Wow. That is amazing. I love that promo. I love the fire in you, man. I cannot wait till you get your hand. You're gonna have to let me know when you get your hands back on him for SOM so I can watch, man, without a doubt.
I'll be sure to give you. I'll send you a link. I'll send you. Hell, I might even send you a personal invite to come watch it.
There you go. Hey, I'll take that too. Whatever it takes, man. I love that. Wow. We've got so many people, and I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight, man. We've got a whole lot. My dad wants to know, what's your favorite move?
Probably I would say my finisher, which is the what I call the perfect shot, but most other people would say it's a phenomenal forearm.
Okay. The perfect shot, phenomenal forearm. Hey, it is what it is, right?
It is what it is.
But if you connect on it, they're going down. That's all there is to it. Missy wants to know, how do you feel about the new WASP heavyweight champion?
So, no, I'm not going to say, I don't want to sit here and immensely downgrade a veteran, but Exotica, which is who our current WASP heavyweight champion is,
Commander Exotica, correct?
Basically, if I really had to put this into a perspective, he's basically a older version of what Brandon Moore is. He didn't sit there and buy out his match, but instead sit there and hit Thunder's kid Luke. He punched him, and then when Thunder went out to go check on him, he gets back in the ring and steals the victory.
Right.
So once again, another person who couldn't do it the clean way, couldn't prove that they were meant to be champion. And don't get me wrong, Exotica was my second ever match. I got the win on top of him on that. So Exotica wants to sit here and play dirty. Who knows? Maybe I'll challenge Exotica for the WASP heavyweight champion this year. I mean, really thinking about it, the WASP cruiserweight title, I won. The WASP United States title, I've won. The WASP tag team titles I currently have. That only leaves the WASP heavyweight title for me to be a Grand Slam champion for the WASP company.
Right.
I mean, sure, the cruiserweight titles turned into all the junior heavyweight title, but I mean, all it still takes is that one title. And from my better knowledge, I've never seen anyone be crowned as the first ever WASP Grand Slam champion. So I might have.
DP Holiday has a really good question. This one kind of hits home. I want to know Blade's opinion on, if he was wrestling back in the days of his dad, who would be his top 5 opponents? I think he would be a top star in any time period. He's talking about you.
I appreciate that, DP. But if I could vote 5 people back in my dad's time, man, all the people, my dad votes a lot of people, and some of them I never even got to really watch because my dad was wrestling Tennessee, North Carolina, Alabama. I think he wrestled in South Carolina too. But DP would definitely be somebody I'd want to verse back in the more of the prime age of where he was wrestling with my dad. Some of the people I'm probably about to list off are people that most people probably don't know, but if you do, that's very cool. But DP would be one. If I would have been able to work Jamie Gibson, my uncle, my dad's brother, I would have picked him. Alan King definitely would have been somebody I would have wished to verse. Who were two other people? Because there's a lot of people that my dad versed. Mikey Masters, I think is what his name. DP can correct me on it because DP had a lot of feuds with him. But
Right.
I think it was Mikey McMasters. I think that was his name. He was a very his character was very interesting. Always had me compelled when I was a kid. And then for fifth, man, actually that's hard. I'd probably honestly give that to Mikey Duggar back when he was my dad's age. Anyways, I know he still kind of wrestles now, but he's kind of more of like in the tag team division than he is on a single wrestler scale. But I say those would be my 5.
Now, I think you answered this question, but she's going to ask it again. Mary wants to know, what has been one of your earliest matches?
Like latest?
She said earliest. I think she's talking about when you first started. I think you covered that, right?
Yeah, it'd be against my oldest brother Cody, and then my second match was with Exotica. So those would be like the 2 oldest matches I've had.
Oh, Miss Diamond said I just posted those pictures of the triple threat, by the way. So if you guys want to go see the pictures of the triple threat, you guys can go check that out. The bottom line, so would you ever go after
the beside the ring
title?
I would definitely go after that. That title's very pretty. And conveniently enough, guess who's holding it? Evan Golden.
Okay.
I would definitely love to go to Evan Golden because the funny thing I've realized is that in Beside the Ring, me and him are 1-1. Our first encounter, I beat him. Our second encounter, the referee didn't see it, of course, but he had to cheat, and he beat me. So it'd be a great way to come back into it. Let's settle the score on really who's better in Beside the Ring, and what better way to do that than for the Beside the Ring Championship. I think that'd be a great idea. I think that might just happen. Who knows?
Somebody get out there and book it. WrestleCast podcast. Here we go. Here's Cowboy Bob. He said that promo was great. The intensity was money. Yes, it was, man. I watched that promo like 6 times after I downloaded it. It was great. I was like, wow, a lot. My dad's got another good question. Who's number 1 on your list? Who is that guy right now you want to get your hands on?
Definitely Tyler Shoup. If I gotta put someone, I gotta say Tyler Shoup. He's a very amazing athlete. He's got that. His move set is very unique to me because granted, you can see a lot of people throw. In my opinion, you can see a lot of people throw a drop kick, but Tyler Shoup has one of the most prettiest drop kicks in the game. And of course, he's got that cut body and always training harder. So I would definitely love to. If there's the number 1 on my top list, it's definitely Tyler Shoup.
There you go. My West Coast connection, Sean Duffy, said hello and good evening from Fallon, Nevada. We are going to, guys, you guys got some great questions and comments over here. I'm having a hard time keeping up, but I want to keep up with the show too. So we're going to go right into watching Blade Gibson wrestle. So let's do that right now. I'm going to hit the intro so I can get everything set up. Let's go. Let's watch him wrestle.
Hashtag Truth Podcast. Hashtag Truth. Speaking truth. Yeah, we'll never back down. Hashtag Truth. Shining light on the underground. Hashtag Truth. Uncovering what they don't want to know. Hashtag Truth.
All right, we are ready. All right, Mr. Blade Gibson, set us up. We're at SOM. By the way, I want to thank SOM for a great show that they do every week. I don't want to take their glory from them. This is an actual wrestling match, one of the NWA titles. They did a whole show on titles, and this was one of them. This is one of the matches. So, Blade, tell us who you're wrestling and how this came about.
So the person I'm versing in this match is at the time was the NWA World Heavyweight Champion EC3. So the way this came about is this. So he said this is the first of this is one of the matches. He had five matches that week alone defending the NWA World Heavyweight title. One night was with Draco at the Greene County Fair. The second night was actually the night before this match. It was against RT3, and then we had seminars, and the seminars were to determine who would verse EC3 because he kind of handpicked who he was going to verse. So you had me and you had the two other guys. And so basically all I had to do was go out there and cut a promo and get the fans to pick me to verse EC3. And when I cut my promo, the fans got behind me, and that's what led me to having this title match.
Yes, go on YouTube. Go on YouTube under the title match. It says like list of title matches or something like that, and you will see all of this. And you will see Blade Gibson do that promo. That was an exceptional promo before this, man. You was almost as excited as you were in that locker room on that other promo.
I had tears coming out. I had tears building up in my eyes when I was giving that promo. I was giving that promo.
The crowd picked you over the other two. They put their hands over them, and then the crowd just went nuts when the guy put his hand over you. So according to them, you deserve this, and you have a title in your hand too, right there. That's the title you just lost, correct?
That's the hyper title right there.
Yep. So how did it feel being in the ring with EC3? We're talking a legend who's been on TV for quite a while.
It was an unreal feeling. So like when talking to him in the seminars and stuff was one thing, but then like when you actually step in the ring, now you're actually stepping with the real deal.
I'm actually going to pause this for a second because when you guys, I'm going to go back to your guys' face-to-face. Look at this. Look at the size difference. Now, I'm not saying you're a small guy. You know, you're fast. You're considered a cruiserweight, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, being honest, you can wrestle anybody. I'm not saying you can't, but you're a cruiserweight. And look at you compared to him. And I want you guys to watch this match and some of the moves he puts on because it is truly amazing. I'm gonna let it play now. But what was going through your mind seeing EC3 up close? I mean, you're right there, and now it's time. You're about to throw fists with EC3.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie to you. So like when he was sitting there holding up his title for a minute, I don't think I could hear very much because I was hearing my heartbeat. But then when I started hearing the crowd right there, I could start feeling the crowd getting behind me. And I was ready. So I was ready to take this on. I wasn't going to take him lightly. But even this lockup, that most snug, most powerful lockup I've been in so far. But as you can see, I'm not backing down because, of course, I'm not going to back down. It's an NWA title shot. It's my chance to make it. And I wasn't going to let that pass me by anytime soon, obviously. And obviously showing the power difference. Now, right here, without getting that face-to-face right there, my sister's in the crowd. She took pictures. That face-to-face right there, she's still got pictures of this face-to-face, and I actually have that as my wallpaper to, like, remember that I wasn't taken lightly. Cool, I was in the ring with him. And as you can see, he's taking me lightly. He's obviously not taking me very seriously.
There we go. There's the speed. That's what I wanted to see. Here we go. Yeah, he took you lightly until you started doing some speed moves. Uh-oh. He caught.
Yeah, I went to go throw him off, and he sat there and said, "No," loud as day. No.
Oh,
hard clothesline. Knocked me in for a second. I think that's probably honestly one of the hardest hits I've been hit in wrestling from that clothesline.
Oh my goodness.
This
is the one bad thing about being like 50 something pounds underweight with another guy, because if he catches you, power versus speed, if he catches you and does a couple power moves, sometimes it's not easy. It's not easy to recover from that.
This right here,
Oh,
I'm telling you, I definitely felt that. I felt every single, even the next day, I still felt it.
did you have a couple of good bruises?
Yeah,
right
I had a
there?
good few marks on it. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Right here, I saw an opportunity, and I wasn't going to let it slip. And I gave
Oh,
him
you paid him back with one. Oh, another one. You're throwing them too, boy. Look at that. Oh, again, he catches you with the forearm. Oh. Uh-oh. Not a good spot to be in.
I'm getting flashback. My back's getting memory from the pain of that.
Oh,
Like I said,
goodness.
like I don't mean to like constantly be trying to put this match over or anything, but it was a very big moment for me, and I try not to go around bragging about the fact I raced EC3 or anything, because this again, I wouldn't have gotten that match if the fans didn't choose me, and I definitely wouldn't have gotten that match if you watch when EC3 came out, you can look at his face. He didn't think I was going to get picked. He was under the clear impression one of the other two was actually going to be the one to give him a challenge.
Oh, reversal. Here we go. Another chop.
I'll start raining these chops.
Oh, one too many times. One to the well, one too many times.
That boot was not just, the typical put your foot up. It was basically meet the foot and then get stomped on.
That's one of those that leaves the impression on your chest, right?
Yeah, that was exactly what that was.
Oh, he wasn't done with you. He could have pinned you there, but he wants to make you hurt now.
He wanted to try going for a submission on that. Now, not to spoil anybody, well, not to upset anybody, but for a spoiler, he did not pay the referee off. I did not get screwed out of his
he did not pay the referee off. I love it.
He's the NWA World Champion, so he wasn't going to take no shortcuts. But obviously, with a little bit of ring awareness, I was able to reach the ropes. But
he didn't like you having ring awareness, so he went right back after that choke, that rear choke right here.
He pulled me back in, got me into it. I wasn't able to react fast enough to not have him get me into it. I started feeling the crowd come behind me.
Oh, jawbreaker. Okay.
For a second. This is why I think it's about time to start catching that momentum.
Oh, no. Up. Oh, okay. Flip. Another drop kick right to the face. Nice.
Good NZ. Up. Boom. So we're going to try this again. I tried this at the start of the match.
Another Larry.
EC3's not fall one time this whole match. And that's when he finally takes the fall.
Okay. Sling blade.
That's when I was actually starting to rock him for a minute. And then we get to the comeback sequence.
Oh.
We get the line. We get the boot. And
you are kicking him and hitting him in his face. Okay, you got a pin. One. Almost a two.
And this is why I went for spotlight. So there's like a secondary finisher right there.
You got him, but do you have the strength to pin him? Oh, you get up. Okay, you're on him. One. Oh, he kicks out after 2 3/4. You were that close to being the NWA heavyweight champion. I mean, that close. The hand was right there when he kicked out.
See, and this is why I'm trying to set up for the perfect shot. I think I have him in the bag.
Oh, you missed him. Oh.
To tell you, I felt every single bit of that on my lower back.
Oh, no. Oh, good night. Yeah, you're not getting up from that, buddy. Oh, man.
Hey, watch. Look at him. Watch him start grabbing his chest. He'll start grabbing his chest. I left my dent on him because he did not sit there and just, walk away without holding something. He was grabbing his chest. And he even
What a great match. I love that. That is awesome. Let me get us back. There we go. Boy, that I love that match. I mean, you that close, man. I'm telling you, the hand was right there. And that's a match you'll remember for quite a long time, man. Being able to go up.
as of
Talking
right
about
now,
the
that's
10
the
pounds of
highlight
gold,
match.
man. I mean, that's woo.
That's the
That
highlight
is,
match for me right now.
all right, I'm going to try to catch up with some of this stuff before we get into name drop. We got a lot of people talking, guys. So I'm going to try to catch up. How soon will you be back in Ring Wars, Carolina? I enjoyed getting to call your matches. Jonathan Darwin, one of the great commentators out there at Ring Wars, Carolina.
Well, that just depends whenever Dex went, not, is it Dex Carter? Whenever
Yep.
Carter wants to sit there
Dexter
and,
Carter, yep.
hit my lane to get me at another show, I'm more than welcome to come back. Actually, there's somebody there that I'm wanting to get in the ring with, and it just so happens. What is he? I think he's the junior. I think he's the junior heavyweight champion there. It's Chase Coleman.
There you go.
He's one of the ones I've been wanting to go back with.
Back when you were Jeff Storm.
I did completely forget about Jeff Storm. Jeff Storm, Jeff Storm's definitely one of the guys I'd want. He's one of the toughest SOBs out there. Southside Players.
Your brother, one half of the tag team champions with you, said Southside Players wouldn't have been cool for us to have a match with.
I'm going to say tag team wise, yeah, because like one of the things I feel like I do a lot of in my matches is always a chop, and it's not because I'm trying to get a cheap pop or I'm trying to get a reaction out of the fans. It's just because I want the crowd to understand. Like if I at least do it once and they hear the sound off of it, that kid packs a punch.
Right.
And one of the things that my dad always told us stories about with the Southside Players, well, not just stories, but me watching as a kid. Anytime my dad would sit there and chop with the Southside Players, they would go back and forth so much that they would start bleeding. Their chest would literally actually legitimately start pouring of blood because of how hard they were chopping each other. So
wow.
That Southside Players were definitely one of the top people I'd put up there as top tag teams I would want to verse back in the day because they were something else.
Missy Childers said, "Have you ever worked Brady Hawks?"
I haven't. I have not actually. I tagged with him at our last year's Christmas Chaos. I got to tag with him, but as of being and actually this past Christmas Carnage, I got to tag with him again. But as of actually going face to face with him, I have not gotten that experience yet.
Philip Ham said, "Blade, I started in the business with your dad." There you go.
There's actually a good few people that started the business with my dad. DP was one of the people that actually got to start with my dad.
Missy said, "I would love to see that match," talking about the Southside Players. And she said, "Good to see you on here, Chance." Yes, thank you for coming on, Chance. I really appreciate it. Sean said, "I'm not even going to ask about a West Coast tour. You're not ready for us." Oh, no.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Okay. You're just going to have to prove him wrong, Blade. That's all I'm saying. He's one of them guys you got to prove him wrong.
I mean, I'll be proving everybody wrong nowadays. So, I mean, it's just another person on the list. I got to get to that moment of being able to prove you wrong.
There you go. DP Holiday said, "Oh, and by the way, I was the first WASP Grand Slam champion."
Okay, so there is somebody that was, but is there anybody else? I'll take second. So the question
he's talking Sean Duffy's bringing up some stuff that's our promo leaks. He said your old tag team partner Ted Bear. Okay. Josh Anderson said we need to run it back. It's been too long.
He does have a point. So like me and Josh's last one-on-one was at an APW show. We we didn't get the film. We didn't have anyone record it for us this time, but it was at an APW show, and the crowd wasn't, big. But when me and Josh went out there and we did our match, it was a we had them invested. They weren't quiet and being on their phones, that's for sure. But man, that was about, I want to say we're going on about 2 years right now since that's happened. It's been about 2 years.
My daughter Destiny said, "Hey, how you doing?"
All right. I'm doing all right.
Missy wants to know, have you worked El Scorpio? He's such a great wrestler and funny.
I have not worked El Scorpio. I've seen what El Scorpio does, but at the moment, I've not worked El Scorpio. At the time being, there was a lot of people assuming that I was El Scorpio, but that got settled real quick when I had to be on commentary for an El Scorpio match.
There you go. Mary wants to know, what is the one thing you would advise an aspiring wrestler, a kid coming into the wrestling business? What would you tell them?
You're always going to have somebody that doesn't believe in you or wants to sit there and belittle you when you first walk in. And you can either sit there and let that win and immediately destroy you, or let that be the fuel that drives you to continuously get better. So
there you go.
I constantly, when I walk into a building the first time, especially if it's for a new promotion, a lot of the times when the people see me, they're going to sit here and probably say the same 3 things. Well, he's a toothpick. He probably doesn't really know how to actually wrestle, and he only knows how to do spot for spot for spot. Those are more or less the 3 things people are going to sit there and say to me when I first step into the building. And once they say that, I have whatever. So like my match is 10 minutes. I have roughly 8 minutes to sit there and prove somebody that I have more than what they thought I had.
There you go. There you go. I love that about you. We're going to have to get into name drop before we run out of time here. We're already pressing 57 minutes. So let's go right into name drop, guys, where I'm going to show him 5 wrestlers and he's going to tell us about it. So let's hit the intro so I can get everything ready.
Hashtag Truth Podcast. Hashtag Truth. Speaking truth. Yeah, we'll never back down. Hashtag Truth. Shining light on the underground. Hashtag Truth. Uncovering what they don't want known. Hashtag Truth.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Name Drop. I'm going to show Mr. Blake Gibson 5 wrestlers, or 5 pictures of wrestlers that he knows. We're going to ask him to tell a story, tell him whether he likes, dislikes, whatever comes to mind. So we're going to start off right with this. I know you've wrestled this guy. You've been in the ring with him. What do you think about Mr. Luke Fury?
Nothing but respect for the man, especially when me and him had our first one-on-one encounter and beside the ring. What was it, a month ago? No, 2 months ago, because we're in January. So 2 months ago in November, I finally got to be able to work Luke, and it's exactly what I thought it would be. It was very strange, but also very fun to know. Like, it was strange to me at first with how good our chemistry was, but it's very fun to know that me and him just had that simultaneous chemistry. And when we went out there for our match, it was, God, the crowd was just so invested. There was not one moment where I wasn't hearing a fan sit there and tell Luke he sucked or trying to cheer for me to bring me back into the match. Nothing but great things for Luke. Luke is definitely somebody that is going to go far in this business.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be 18 very soon. And, boy, I'm telling you, the sky's going to be the limit when that happens. All right, here's a tag team that I know you've seen. I don't know if you've been in the ring with them yet, but I know you've seen them at SOM. I believe they're SOM Tag Team Champions of the Year. Ice Cream Truck.
Ice Cream Truck. Now, currently I'm just going to address the elephant in the room because currently at the moment, I don't know what's going on with Dump Truck and Squeaks from what it seems in the past few shows. But from my personal experience of talking to him backstage and getting to know them. They're very amazing people. Me and Dump Truck, me and him are like this. I have nothing but up respect for Dump Truck. Definitely have the respect for Squeaks. And again, two guys that are very big. And actually, for a lot of people that might not know it, they get just as much criticism as I do. Like, especially, Squeaks dressing up as, the face paint going around as a clown.
Right.
People are going to sit there and tell him, you're not going to make it like that. Nobody's going to get behind you. He proves them wrong. And then you got my boy Dump Truck. He sits there and has people tell him that he's too big for this. He can't do it. And yet, every single time I'm in the ring training with him, or I'm seeing him in the ring training with somebody else or work with somebody, he is always going about it, trying to prove people wrong. If there's anyone I want to sit here and say that we're in the same boat, just on different levels or just like on different aspects, it's definitely me and Dump Truck. It definitely have to be Dump Truck because, he's on the big side. People don't think he can move. People don't think he can actually put on a match. And he has to go out there and prove them wrong. And you got people that look at me, oh, he's too skinny. He's probably just going to do spot for spot. And then I have to go out there and prove him wrong. So me and him have those similarities. I've not gotten to work him yet, but I have nothing but respect for Dump Truck and Squeaks.
There you go.
Yeah, I'd love to work them. I'd love to work them anytime, anywhere.
I got you. So here's a tag team that I know you know at Wasp. I would love to get your opinion on these guys. The Big Guns.
Big Guns. Convenient timing to be mentioning them. So, not too long, right after Christmas Chaos, not Chaos, but Carnage, for our last Wasp show, I started getting out of the ring, slapping hands with the fans, taking pictures, the whole babyface 9. And just so happened at the corner of my eye, in the very back next to their merchandise table, I see the Big Guns just sitting there staring like pretty much like this, just looking at us with smiles on their faces. And I think it's Knox. I see Knox go out and just go. So as the Big Guns are, obviously big guys, they've been dominating the tag team division outside of the titles, obviously. And I think our paths crossing are very likely. It's going to happen. It's bound to happen at some point.
Right.
And it's not just that Wasp that I could be crossing paths with them, because running over at the promotion that everybody's been mentioning, Rated R, my fellow partners of the new gen, which is Aaron Adams and Josh Anderson,
right,
have to verse the Big Guns because the Big Guns are the number one contenders over there. So either way I'm looking at it, I know the big guns I'm going to have to eventually cross paths with. And if the thing that gives them a kind of downgrade is if the Rated R shows before the Wasp show, all I have to do is just sit there and take notes. And if my boys, I'll do respect to my boys, but if they go on and they make a mistake, I'll know how to correct it and be ready for them at the Wasp show. So the Big Guns, you guys, mad respect to you. I see you guys going out there putting your name in Net Pro Studios, Wasp, and wherever else you guys might be able to be getting your bookings at. I see that you guys are putting the work and getting your name out there. And just know when our time finally comes, I'll be ready for you. And I'm sure as hell my brother's going to be ready for you too. Me and Chance will definitely be ready.
Speaking of your brother, name number 4, Chance Gibson Jr.
So obviously me and Chance have had our history. We're eventually able to move past the issues and have now cemented our place and claimed our spot at the top of the mountain with the Wasp tag team titles. So I have respect for my brother. Granted, I still don't think everything he did when he was being the madman that he was, going around fireballing our cousin, our commissioner, Jerichoing our cousins, our uncle, snapping a chair over my only parent, our mom's leg, kidnapping our sister. You know, there's still a lot of history behind what Chance has done. And I'm glad that everybody's been able to look past it. But somewhere down the road, I feel like there's going to be somebody that won't look past that. So I love my brother to death, and I'd love to definitely be able to run it back with him in a one-on-one where he's not pulling out the dirty tactics. He's sitting there playing by the rules, wanting to do it by the right way. But as of right now, me and him are tag champs, and we're going to sit here and defend the tag champs proudly. We're going to defend those titles proudly against whoever and wherever.
There you go. All right, name number 5 on Name Drop. You go to SOM. I know you've had to at least met this man once. So tell me all about the Hall of Famer, Ricky Morton.
So I've never gotten to actually, have a match with him, obviously. Well, maybe not obvious, but I've not gotten to have a match with him. And from his last Facebook post that I saw of 2025, 2024, I think this year is going to be his final run. So I'm hoping, because I had him on my top 10 list, I'm hoping that in some way, shape, or form, I get to share the ring with the man that's giving me everything that I know and still tries to continue to teach me, whether it's in a tag match or a one-on-one. I just would love to be able to work with Ricky. Ricky's such an amazing soul. He's always there to share a good few jokes and make you laugh. But if there's a veteran you want to definitely feel their passion for this business, by all means, Ricky Morton is the man to go to. He will gladly talk to you about wrestling and how you can improve and what you need to do to improve. I mean, the man's going on, I think, 60.
The man's over 60 years old and still wrestling. So that should tell you something right there. I mean,
that should tell you a lot, because that man goes out there and he knows how to get the crowd invested. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but it's just something I've been told. The one thing that Ricky has always complimented me about is my selling, because the selling is what grabs the fans. The selling is what gets the fans invested into you.
Right.
And he sits there and says, I do amazing selling. And he says that the person I sell like is him. Which,
nice.
when you train
that's
with a guy,
huge compliment.
It's a very big compliment. And I am so thankful and honored that he's willing to say that about me. But I have nothing but the utmost respect for Ricky, because if it wasn't for Ricky, I wouldn't have gotten my platform with SOM. I wouldn't have gotten what I know right now in the wrestling business and continue to know because of Ricky. So hopefully I just get to experience some kind of match with him.
I just had to pop those up there. As at SOM, you were the superstar of the year for 2024, and you were also voted in the fan favorite in 2024. So you did very well at SOM. And again, I want to give a shout out to SOM. We used their promo with Blade Gibson. We also used their match with Blade Gibson and EC3. Thank you very much. And go check out SOM and their shows on Facebook and YouTube. You will not be disappointed. We're going to get right into the last segment because we're already an hour and almost 10 minutes in. So we're going to get to tell us where to find you. I'm going to hit the intro, and when we come back, we're going to finish it up. I'm going to finish up all the comments and questions, and then we're going to let Blade Gibson get back to his day. I appreciate you coming on, Blade. So we're going to hit this.
For inviting me.
Well, without a doubt, man. We're going to get into this last segment right here, so we'll be right back in 20 seconds.
Hashtag Truth Podcast. Hashtag Truth. Speaking truth. Yeah, we'll never back down. Hashtag Truth. Shine light on the underground. Hashtag Truth. Uncovering what they don't want known. Hashtag Truth.
All right, we are back. So I'm going to hit some of these, and then we're going to ask you where to find you on social media, and if somebody wants to book you, how they get a hold of you. So we got a lot of people let me see where I left off. It was a little while up here. Let's see here. My daughter noticed that you were wearing an anime shirt. Are you into anime? And if so, what's your favorite? Because she's an anime person.
So the anime shirt that I'm wearing is Attack on Titan. Very much into anime. I can't really show it because I have a thermal underneath my long sleeve shirt because
Okay.
it gets it's very cold up here where it's snowing.
Okay.
But my favorite anime is Attack on Titan. I say second one would be Dragon Ball Z because both of those are very influential. I'm trying to say the right word. I feel like I'm messing it up.
Influential?
Yeah, that word. That.
There you go.
But those are very those inspire me in a lot of ways. Like when I look at my wrestling character, I kind of see more of the Goku aspect where he's not ever giving up. He's always still wanting to fight and definitely trying to fight for his family, his friends, his universe. So for me, I'm fighting for like the WASP fans, the Rated R fans, the SOM fans, all of them.
Right. Okay.
But I even have 2 tattoos. I got the Wings of Freedom on my left, and then I got King Kai's symbol on my right. So those are very, very big inspired animes for me.
I love that. So tell the fans right now, if they wanted to find you on social media, where would they find you?
So you can find me on Blade Gibson on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram at Blade Gibson, Blade_Gibson 2003. And sadly, I can't remember my Gmail off the top of my head. That's very bad of me. I know. Right. I know it's very bad of me, but I cannot remember my Gmail off the top of my head.
That's all right. That's all right. You can drop it later on in the comments, maybe. But
I can definitely do that. I come back in and like post it on there. Blake Gibson.
There you go.
Whatever.
Man.
I know it's Blake Gibson numbers and then at gmail.com. I just don't know what the numbers are. Off the top of my head.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Hey, I've got one of the longest Gmail intros in the world, man. Mine is Scott Larson W #truth and people. I go to the doctor's office and try to explain my. On the phone, I'll try to explain my email address and they don't get it. They misdo it every time. So I understand, man. And sometimes you can't remember. Mine's like this long too, so I get it. But Blade, it's been a pleasure having you on #truth, sir. I would love to have you on further on down the road, man. Get some more wrestling matches under your belt. Come back and talk to us, man. Your match with EC3 was phenomenal. I wish you all the luck in the world at SOM and all the other companies at WASP, Rated R, all the companies that you work for, sir. Expand out, man. Come to North Carolina and go back to Ring Wars Carolina and some of the places over here, man. We'd love to see you. The closer you get, the easier it is for me to come see you. So if not, I'm going to drive up to Tennessee and I'll see you one day. I got to see you at least once, man, without a doubt. It's been a pleasure. If I'll let you go ahead and do the outro for the show. You tell the fans and everybody what you want to tell them, man. Here we go. All
right. Well, this has been #truth with Scott Larson and Blade Gibson. And just remember, when you're watching SOM, when you're watching The Face of Perfection, or wherever you're watching, just know that somewhere down the road, I'm going to be the face of the company by claiming the heavyweight title. So by all means, thank you guys for watching, and we hope to see you again real soon.
And that is the #truth. We'll see you guys Monday.
All right.